pursuit on the wire. Mongolian win takes the 72nd running of the Manitoba Derby. And welcome everybody to ASD Live, a special Kentucky Derby edition here in 2023. And what that means around here at Assiniboia Downs is that there's horses on the backside, and opening day, which isn't too far away, Stretch, coming on May the 22nd. Exciting times around here. What does it make you feel like when you come by and you see the life on the backside?
Oh, absolutely. That's you kind of stole my intro, so I've got a
well, sorry about that, Stretch.
Opening thing of the spring, but that's I completely agree with you. This is what I always look forward to. You just know if you live in Manitoba, just all our live tracks starting, and then if you're a simulcast bettor, you've got even more tracks. This is about the most tracks going at one time, so you have lots to choose from. Today, obviously, we're talking about the Churchill track for the Friday and the Saturday, but there's a lot of others running. Lots of extra money out there, so we're going to cap this, but if you have time, maybe look at the other tracks as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You open up your account, your betting account, if you're doing it online, and there's a slew of tracks from absolutely everywhere. So there's no shortage of races to play. We're going to take a look at the Kentucky Oaks, which is on Friday night at Churchill Downs. Then we're going to carry on to the sequence, races 7 through 12. That's all the stakes at the pick 6, ending in race 12, which is the Kentucky Derby. Stretch, how about a weather report? You seem to be not bad at it, but
yes,
you seem to like doing it.
I do like the weather report, and I'm glad you asked. So I checked. I wanted to be thorough on my research, and that kind of backfired because I checked 2 different weather reports, and they were different. So one kind of, this was yesterday, and it was 60% chance of rain, and then the other one was 22% chance of rain. So I'm going to go with the 22%. I like to be positive. Obviously, you've got to check the forecast and also check the bias. There's so many races coming up, especially with the Oaks race 11, you're going to get a really good idea of how the track is playing. Same with the Derby and the pick 6. You're already going to have a bunch of races to view. So no matter what the weather is going to be, it looks like it's going to be uneventful, mid 60s, maybe 70s Fahrenheit.
Yeah, I also looked at it, and it looked like the rain was supposed to happen early in the morning, so it's really not going to carry until race time. And if there is rain early in the morning, usually it dries up pretty fast, as you can tell our track does, but Churchill's the same kind of dirt surface. They turn it fast. You get a little bit of sun, a little bit of wind, and it will be dry and ready to go. Okay, let's start off with the Oaks. Last year it was Secret Oath. Both of us like this horse. I said I was going to bet it if we got 9-2. Well, it won and paid $12.80, rallied from mid-pack to beat Nest in here. It seems like it's a little bit tougher. There's 2, 3, 4 horses that you can really look at in here, but definitely I think there is going to be a big favorite.
I agree with you. I think when we get to the Derby, but I will mention I don't think that's going to be a fast early pace in here, or that's how I'm looking at it. I'm going to start with a bit of a long shot in here, and that's the 11. Really good workout report. I think this horse is improving, and with my figures, this filly has the best figures for the last race out. So if she runs back to that race, I think she's going to be very tough. We've got a stalking trip. What I do like is you look at the 2 races that were on the off track, throw those out, and her form looks great. I don't think she would be the 12-1 morning line. I think those other 2 races kind of dirty her up a bit. For me, they're really good value and worth a shot. And then the 7 horse, I think Kurt's talking about that, is going to be the favorite, and I think deserves to be for sure. Does need some pace help. If it's a painfully slow pace at the front, dawdling on the front end is sometimes used at ASD. That might hold this filly back from making the close, but she has a really good turn of foot. Gets that trip, will be absolutely tough to beat. And then the last one is the 6. Can she handle the dirt? Looks great on the poly. The workout tells me that she can handle it. At 4-1 morning line is a little low trying to guess if she can run on the dirt. I would have liked to seen a couple races on the dirt coming in. So I'm going to go 11-7-6.
Yeah, I do like Finding Purpose as one of my other horses to try and beat the top horses, but I did go to Botanical. The reason I like this horse, 2 outs ago, this horse had to track and was back by 10 lengths. Look at the suicide fractions on the front end. They went 45, 110 and change. The horse sat back, well rated, and absolutely blew the doors off them when they started running. If not, can go right to the front end, take the lead. This horse is so versatile, and I think it will take to the dirt in here. And I like that it sits a little bit closer than Wet Paint. I think this horse will probably be sitting about 5th in the race, as the speed should be the 10 Flying Connection. You have Darth Vader, you have Pretty Mischievous, and a couple others that do have a little bit of early speed. So I think there will be a contested pace. This horse will sit right off, and it's just been on a roll, winning 4 in a row after it was a deep closer early on when it was on the turf. You throw those races out, and this horse has a nice unblemished record of 4-0. And I think that's pretty good. So I'm making that my top selection. I do like number 7, Wet Paint. How can you not like the horse at least a little bit? Has also a win streak going. Won 4 out of the last 5 races. Was impressive in each one. But as Stretch said, it is going to need a solid pace up front. If it doesn't get it, it'll have to sit a little closer. And if it does that, then you're not going to have that big kick that has been showing in the last few starts. So I'm going to put it as my second choice in here, and I have a little bit of a long shot, number 3, Gambling Girl. This is another one that has run some pretty decent races. What I like is she sits mid-pack and comes a-running. She's missed the board a couple times in the last 6 starts, but they were 4th place finishes. A lot of them, the speed got away. 2 outs ago, ran a great race against Wet Paint, but wasn't able to get going soon enough, and Wet Paint got the jump on her, and it was a belated rally. Gets a little more distance. I think this 1.125 is right up her alley, so I'm taking Gambling Girl as my long shot, so I'm 6-7-3. Now we're going to carry on to Derby Day. We're going to start at race number 7, the first, as I said, of 6 stake races, culminating with the Kentucky Derby in race number 12. This is the Twin Spires Turf Sprint. And this race was actually last year held on Friday, but they have moved this race to Saturday. Arrest Me Red was the winner and the favorite. Went off at 5-2, paid $7, sat close to the pace, and is back in here as the 10-horse. Stretch. What do you like?
Yeah, so assuming that they're on the turf, which we think it will be, going 5.5, I expect a pretty good pace battle up front. And so that, for me, is going to set it up for a bit of a stalker at least. I don't expect anybody to go gate to wire. So I went to the 10 as my top pick. Got many good angles here. You get Ortiz back. Has won with him in the past. Has won 3 of the last 4 times. And second start on a layoff. Also, what I really do like is 5 of 6 in the money. And has won at Churchill at the distance as well. So that's huge. Because some of the turf tracks are just a little configured a little bit different. And so the good old horse for course, and this one also for the distance. So I just I didn't like the trip last time. I thought he got a little bit too far back and had to make up too much ground. If he can kind of sit that much closer, go from there. Same post, basically same pattern coming in. So gets in the right spot, take over mid-stretch, and go from there. And then my second pick is the 4. Looked good last time. And again, another turf specialist. These 5.5, these type of races, you're kind of looking for specialists at the distance. So again, might be a little bit farther back, but if it gets a clean path, watch out. Again, we've got 14 horses you've got to weave your way through, and you don't have as much time going only 5.5. And then the last one is the 11. And I think this horse is improving with each start. Looked great last time. I just watched that race. Looked like the horse had something left. Looked powerful. Does shorten up. So that would be why that's why I have for this horse in 3rd, just because maybe it's a little bit too short. But at 8-1, I think you've got to use it. So it's 10-4-11 for me.
Yeah, I definitely respect number 10, Arrest Me Red, last year's winner of this race. Ran good in almost every outing. Last time out, third beat and a half a length to Caravel. Caravel is absolute monster this year. Last year was favored over a lot of these horses. Ran good races. Ran a couple of okay ones. But this year is absolutely on fire now, graduating to the 3-year-old campaign. So I expect this horse to run definitely a decent race in here, but I think it just might get overbet. 4-1 on the morning line, but I don't think it's going to go off of that. I think it's closer to the 2-1 variety, as people think that it's one of the ones that jump off the page. But Big Invasion will be also one of the favorites. That is the one that I went to as my top selection. This horse, 3 for 3 at the distance, and has looked absolutely dynamite. 2 outs ago, the horse couldn't win, going 6.5 furlongs. But that was the last start of the 2-year-old campaign and then got shelved. So what that tells me, something happened. That's why the bad race. You throw that one out. The horse has 7 wins and a second out of 8 starts. Came back, ran absolutely dynamite at Gulfstream for the first start of the campaign. Gets a comeback. That was a great tightener. I think this horse is the real deal. So I'm going to put him on top as a good closer in here. And then Arrest Me Red, definitely another one. Like I said, big shot. But I'm going to put number 9, Oceanic, as my long shot in here. This horse did run against Arrest Me Red last time out, did lose the photo, but ran so big in there, has had to run against Caravel in the last 2 starts. 2 outs ago, again, had a bad race at Keeneland. Big layoff in between, came back and was fighting to the finish. I think really needed that race also. Comes in with a nice workout, a nice even workout. Nothing too flashy, but I don't need flashy workouts off a good race. I think this horse can go forward. Had 10 starts last year, and I think that was just too much. So I think the fresher horse will run better. I think we're going to get all of the 15-1 in here. So that's my bomb, and I'm going to take 4, 9, and 10. Now we're going to carry on to race number 8, and that's going to be the Pat Day Mile. A big favorite won this last year in Jack Christopher, a $3.40 horse. It definitely doesn't look like that in here, Stretch. Who do you like?
Yeah, many of the horses in here at Derby hopes and then have kind of come up short. I don't know if some of them may have tried to enter, but they wouldn't have qualified, not enough points. So I went to a horse in here that is probably just one level down from the Derby horses, and that's the 7 horse. I think the horse is spotted beautifully in here. Last time out, you got to watch the replay. Broke a few steps slow, and then rushed to the lead, and then battled the whole way through, and then tired mid-stretch, and then was basically wrapped up late. I like the being wrapped up late. Wasn't going to win. Maybe could have finished a little closer, but why would you bother at that point? It's actually one of my stronger plays on the card. I'm just hoping this horse can break average out of the gate, and then I think it should be really tough to beat. Doesn't have to be on the lead, but may end up on the lead at worst stalking. 9-2 is great value. I'll even go down as 4-1 or 7-2 on there, just because I do like this horse quite a bit. And then let's go to the 10 horse as the next one. A bit of a price horse at 12-1 in here. Again, a couple poor races this year. I'm going to throw that out. They've given up the chances. But if you look back, I do like that the horse likes Churchill Downs. That was one of my keys to this horse. Liking that. Has some steady works coming in. You've got basically the right track, the right price at 12-1. Does have the talent, and that's what happens. These horses drop to kind of where they belong, and they go from there. And then I'll go, kind of got third choices. That would be the 5 and 9. I kind of find them very similar. Both kind of max out at the mile. Both won last time. Both similar figures. And I'm going to like them to complete the exactor underneath my selection. So they're not win candidates for me. They will be in the mix. So I'll go 7-10 with the 5 and the 9.
Yeah, myself, I think this horse, you might be able to chase some big prices in here. I do like Fort Bragg. This is my second selection. Look at the horses that the horse has been running against in the last three starts. Practical Move 3 outs ago. Practical Move again 2 outs ago. And last time, Forte and Mash. Not easy company at all. And this horse wasn't disgraced. And taking this drop down in here to the Pate Mile, I think this is just what the doctor ordered. Might get caught up in a little bit of speed. The speed should be on the inside, the one Kangaroo Court, but there is other horses that have early foot in here to at least make a sensible pace. But I think Fort Bragg will run a big race, just like Stretch said. And with the drop in class, I think will run absolutely huge. But my top selection, I went for a price in here. I went to number 4, Midnight Rising. 20-1 morning line. This is a lightly raced horse, only 3 starts to start off the campaign, all of them this year in 2023. Beat up on maidens in the first start, and then instantly into a stakes race. Made an absolute power move on the outside, and then ended up tiring late. But the horse was going from a mile to a mile on a 16th, and I don't think it was the best timed ride that they had in there. And then last time out, this horse got in a little bit of trouble late down the lane, had to alter course, and only got beat by 2 lengths. And that was such a good start at Keeneland. I'm thinking that there is pace in here. This horse has showed that its willingness to run and win, as it did break the maiden. But even that second race, I think that could have been a winning race with a better timed ride. But that's with me sitting in the chair and not above the horse. But I think this is a great long shot, getting the 21 morning line. And then on the outside, I also like number 12, Gun Pilot. He's done absolutely nothing wrong. 5 starts, 2 wins in 2 seconds. At Oaklawn Park last time out, was beaten as the favorite, as Ein Clover was just too good in there and ended up going on. But what I like is this horse likes to sit right behind the speed and make that charge. He can be sitting right beside number 7, Fort Bragg. They could rally together. Gun Pilot, big races before, and has gone against some good ones. Confidence Game 2 outs ago wasn't a great start that day, but throw that one out because it was a sloppy track. Some horses absolutely hate it. That's what I'm doing. I'm tossing it, but everything else looks good, and this horse would have been 4 for 4, 2 wins in 2 seconds in 4 starts. So that's my third selection. So I'm going to give you 4, 7, and 12. Now we're going to carry on to race number 9. It's the American Turf, a mile and a 16th for 3-year-olds. Stolen Base was the winner last year. $13 on the board, and he did win it from mid-pack. Stretch, I had a hard time with this one.
Well, I actually do like this race. I know there's 14 horses. I think maybe 3 or 4 at the most can win. I more likely think it's one of the Todd Pletcher horses. I just like those 2 and then kind of the rest. I will start with the 1 just as my top selection, even though I'm going to use both equally. Is a proven graded stake winner. Has the turn of foot that I like. Did try the Poly last time and basically just ran evenly. It was a nice effort for sure. Did lose to True Phil's, and that horse is going to be a contender that we'll talk about in the Derby for sure. So if you like that horse, you should like this horse a little bit as well. And I just think the horse is going to get a nice stalking trip, maybe sitting 4th or 5th early. And then if doesn't get trapped on the rail, it should be tough to beat. Ortiz is just such a good rider, or I think so anyway, and he seems to find a way to get through a lot of the time. 2 is my second selection, first selection. This horse, like I said, could have been my top pick. It exploded once got out, and just this horse is in my stable notes of getting better with each start. And I don't put that too often, and to see that, like I said, I could have made it top pick. I just think maybe the 1 is a little more seasoned. There's no surprise if the 2 wins it. And then I'll talk about a couple others. The 11 does also have looked good last time as well. Did win easily and expected to. Should improve. The long shot to help it maybe in the tries or the super would be the 14. If one of the top 3, 1, 2, or 11 falter, maybe the 14 can get in 3rd or 2nd at a big price. This horse can close for sure. and the Churchill Down does allow some closers in here for sure. So I will give you 1, 2, 11, 14.
Yeah, I also like the 1 and 2, but I'm taking number 2, Farbridge, on top. You got to watch the replays on this horse. First time out, yes, it did lose to number 11, but the horse was back, made a big move up the rail, kind of got stalled for a bit, and then down the lane rebroke and was able to get that win by a nose. But it was the comeback race that was absolutely amazing. This horse came up the inside, and when they hit the head of the lane, absolutely exploded to the lead. And there was no doubt that this horse was the winner coming around the turn and ended up drawing away easily by 3.5. I think this is one of those little special horses that ran a tough race in the first outing with another tough horse, but I think he's improving a little bit better than the 11. So I'm going to take him on top, and this is definitely the last replay is the one you want to watch. I also like a long shot in here, number 13, and the winner is. Stretch likes the long shot, Webslinger. They both came out of the same race. Webslinger went to the outside, got a smooth trip, and ran at the winners. And the winner is, got kind of trapped in behind, had to check, and I like that the horse was able to re-rally and ended up getting 5th beaten 4 lengths in the previous start. Wonderful Justice ended up going all the way around. So when you can't catch a loose speed horse, it's tough when you're a closer, but I think there is speed in here to run at, as kind of Stretch does with his selections in here. So and the winner is 30-1 on the board. I like him and Webslinger. Maybe they both can kind of get in there, and if they do that, there'll be absolute boxcars on the board. And of course, my third selection in here, number 1, Major Dude, has done absolutely nothing wrong. Last time out, 2 fills, Derby contender, drops into this grade 2 here, and does way better, I think, on the grass than on the synthetic. So that race was a good one, running second, but the win did come on the turf. Likes drawing the inside, and you said Irad Ortiz. Nobody you'd like to have your money on when you're gambling than Irad Ortiz, the way he wins races, and he'll split those holes when need be when he's going for the big money. So I think Major Dude is another one with a big chance in here. So I'm taking 2, 13, and 1. Now we're going to carry on to race number 10. This is the Churchill Downs. They're going to go 7 furlongs. And last year's winner, Jackie's Warrior, ended up going wire to wire, was the even money favorite. Looks like a standout here, Stretch. What do you think?
I agree with you. I think it's the 7 and then the rest. When I first scanned on this, I thought, well, maybe I can try and beat him. And the more and more you just it's a win horse, wins off layoffs. It's 4 for 4 at Churchill Downs. I think everybody that plays the races can see. You just decide if you can find somebody to beat the horse. And this is why sometimes you just have to accept that the favorite's going to win and find some value a different way. And that's what I'm going to try to do. I don't think there's a basically above early pace battle in here. I think it's just going to be a fairly run race. And so I'm going to go to the 2 CZ Rocket. Outran the odds last time at the Breeders' Cup Sprint, and then had a couple races, kind of tighteners throughout the last race in Dubai, I believe. And correct? Yeah. And so again, comes back. I think this horse is in the mix. Again, it just wins. It wins at Churchill and is in the money also. And 5 of 6 at 7 furlongs. Yes, the horse is 9. Probably not where he was before, but I think certainly can be in the money, and at least you're getting 10-1. That is the win price. It's more about the exactor for me. And then the last one, we'll go to the 10. Basically, last out winning in a grade 2 race, in the money a bunch of times, 4 of 6 at the distance. This is another specialty distance, 7 furlongs. You want to see horses, some that always run a mile or always run 6. There's a reason that 7 furlongs is kind of the tricky distance. Has a, like I said, steady works coming in. For me, it's tough to find an upset. I'm looking for tries in this. This horse is going to be a key in the 7 in my sequence bets. I'll give you 7-2-10.
Yeah, I'm with you, Stretch. I look for something else to beat Cody's Wish. If you're looking at the race, try and find the speed. There is not a lot of it. There is no Jackie's Warrior. He used to just go to the front, play catch me if you can. There's horses that can go to the lead, but they don't go to the lead each and every time. I think Cody's Wish is going to be sitting forward in this race because of that, but this horse does run very well in a stalking position, so I'm expecting Junior Alvarado to have the horse within a couple lengths of the early lead. The fractions will probably be soft, but I just think this is the best horse in here. The horse is absolutely lights out dynamite. Last year, only 5 starts, very well spotted, hit the winner's circle 4 times. The other one, a second place finish, only losing by a narrow neck. This is a horse that comes to play every time, and if you spot him well, like it looks like Bill Mott has been doing, I think this is another perfect spot, and this is a horse to beat at a short price. But I do also like number 4, Hoist the Gold. Another 30-1 shot. It's kind of a theme I got going on here, Stretch, with these 20 and 30-1 shots. Hoist the Gold, this is a horse that does have speed. Last time out, ran a great race, was on the inside, didn't break particularly well, and stalked every step of the way, only lose by a neck. But I like the way this horse battled. It should be able to get a forward placing in here, does have an inside draw. There really isn't a lot of speed to the inside, so I think Luis Saez might just go with it. And if he does go with it in here, this horse just might get a little bit braver on the front end. So I'm throwing this in as a nice long shot, and I do like the workout patterns coming into the race as they're nicely well spaced. And my third selection, Tejano Twist, was an easy winner 2 outs ago as the favorite last time out. Didn't do so well, kind of ran out of ground, but was sitting farther back than normal. And those races were all at 6 furlongs, 7 furlongs and 6 furlongs. Different race altogether. So I expect this horse, instead of being sitting 8th and 9th like in its last 2, it'll probably move up to about 5th or 6th position. And if it can show that late kick, the horse has won 4 out of its last 6 starts, hasn't missed the board in its last 6. So the 6-1 morning line, always a good one. I'm going to give you 7, 4, and 6. Now we're going to carry on to race number 11, the Old Forester Bourbon Turf Classic, 1 mile and an eighth on the turf, 4-year-olds and up. Santina was the winner at a bit of a price, $16 on the board, and did it in a stalking roll just off the leader. Stretch, how do you think this one plays out?
Yeah, solid grade 1 turf race for sure. I think many can win it in here, and Kirt and I talked before the show, and he's a little more confident on this race than I am. I'm kind of searching. It's not one of my strong opinions, but we both agree that there is some pace to run at. So I don't think somebody's going to steal it. And then Kirt jokingly said, we'll look for closers and somebody goes gate to wire on us.
That's what happens to me in turf races. I don't know. It seems like there's 3 cutthroat speed horses. One of them gets away, and I'm ripping up my tickets at the head of the lane.
For
it's
sure.
Terrible.
Let's hope there's a pace battle, because if the announcer goes, whoa, that's a slow pace, you can rip up our tickets.
Yep.
So I'm going to start with looking for a price here. With the right running style for Churchill, and that's the 2-horse, morning line 8-1. I like the cutback. I was watching this race. Basically, this race is 1 mile and an eighth. He went 1.5 miles, which I don't think he can go this far. He always kind of tires a little bit late. Made a nice move, maybe moved a little bit early. I think if the jockey waits a little bit longer, it goes from there. I also thought the jockey seemed to think he had more horse than he actually did. And so that's why I'm going back. He also beat my second choice, the 7, by 3 races back on July 31st. Was a longer shot, but that race stood out to me too. So I like the value. I'm using this horse all over the place. And then we will go to the 7, which could have been my top pick, but there's going to be less value on here. I guess if you look back again, run those last 2 races from 2022, watch out, going to be right there. Likes to make that solid turn of foot, just wins racing and is right there. And then I'll go for one more. The 9-horse is a proven graded stake horse, and after over a year and a bit layoff, basically had a couple starts, and then I think this horse is slowly getting back set up for another top effort. So I'm going to give you 279. kind of all over the place a bit in here. You'll see in my sequence bets that I have more than that. But Kurt?
So no defending champion, number 8, Santine. And I don't either. I went to number 5, Up to the Mark. I really like the way this horse ran, especially its last start. Came off of 2 wins. Previous to that, both of them deep closing efforts. There is pace in here. You have the 10, Bye Bye Melvin, the 3, Wolfie's Dynamite, and on the inside, Ocean Atlantic. All of them have early gas, and I think they're going to show it in here. So a horse like this can sit back and run at him. Yes, last time out the horse did get beat running 3rd, losing a photo to who? Modern Games. That was a horse that won the Breeders' Cup Mile. And Modern Games in this race, if he was in, 1 to 5. So that's how much I like that race, that the horse did not win. And the previous 2, Absolute Dynamite and the Turf. The horse just went to the turf and seems like it's just relishing it right now. So I'm taking a horse that is on a roll and getting Irad Ortiz in the saddle. That's never a bad thing. So I put him as my top selection. I do also like Spooky Channel. Spooky Channel also has been running very well. 2 wins and a 3rd place finish in the last 3 starts. In the 2 starts this year, had that 3rd place finish where the horse went to the front end. Not sure why that was. The fractions didn't look that good that race. Maybe that's why, but was forced up in there. But I don't see that anywhere else in the lines. So that's a toss-out race for me. But the comeback race, sat back again, made that big late charge down the lane to get up by half a length. So I'm putting him in there. And Hong Kong Harry, this is a horse that absolutely loves the distance. 3 starts, 2 wins, 2nd place finish. Loves the turf, 8 lifetime starts, 6 wins, a 2nd and a 3rd. This horse has been only in California running, but I think that last race, that was that little tune-up for him, and I think he can move forward off that. But I'm taking 5, 7, and 9. Now we're on to the Derby, 20 of them going postward, and last year's winner, Rich Strike and Stretch. This was a horse that came off the also eligible list. As we are pre-taping this, we had no idea whether this horse would get in or not. Absolutely ran lights out. Paid $163.60. And we were both talking last year about the exactors. It's an easier bet to cash than if you're going for the superfecta or the triactor. Yeah, they pay great. But the exactor last year, with the favorite running 2nd, $4,000 for a $2 ticket. We told everybody to play the exactor, but no, I didn't get it. What about you?
All right. The horse ran great, really good ride. And again, I don't think there's that much pace to battle.
Oh, definitely not.
And
I'm
so
in agreement.
And so, well, certainly a horse can close. I don't think you're going to see that big of a close just because there's going to be enough energy left at the end. Just have to mention Mitch, who started helping our show about 4 years ago. He's doing the graphics for the Kentucky Derby out there. Full credit to him. I guess because he made us look good. It's like, if you can make us look good, then you better go to Kentucky. So it's got to go with that. So if you don't like the graphics or he gives you a wrong photo, just blame it on Mitch. It's not your betting. It's Mitch's fault. So here we go. Let's go with the picks. There's, like Kurt said, there's 20 horses out there. There's going to be some bad trips, and so you need a break for sure. I don't think that anybody's going gate to wire. I think 7 and 12 are going to be on or near the lead, and I don't think either of them can win the race. So I'm going to do it a little different. I'm going to start with the horses that are maybe they're most likely on paper, and that's the 5 and the 15. Both of them have the figures. Both won last time. Both look good. Great turn of foot that last 8th. And so they've got to be in the open to make that move. So the jockeys certainly, they can ride a great race. And then the leaders just back up, which I really think they will. And so I'm hesitant to take a lower price horse on this because I don't think there's a standout in here at all. And so I'm going to just give you some of my long shots. And I'm going to start with the 9, 20 to 1. I like this move at Santa Anita. made a move early. I thought maybe the jockey was instructed to make that move early just to see what happened, and then just kind of ran out of gas late. So then some people might say, well, I can't get the distance. I don't know. I think this horse is going to, the jockey might wait a little bit and make that move. And you're getting 20-1, and that's the type of horses I'm kind of looking for. And so I'm using that horse right in my pick fives and pick fours. Other one that I've got word that might be scratched, and that's the 10, but I will mention it if the horse is not scratched. We got word, Kirt kind of got word possibly scratched.
Yeah, that's a rumor, but might as well throw it out there. It's a rumor at filming time.
Rumor at filming time. Anyway, I like how horse is going, and you could say that the horse may not get the distance. I don't know. I think the horse certainly can. Did have some pressure early and was wide throughout. So if that horse is in, maybe include that one. And then I'm going to mention another one that almost gave the 5 an absolute huge race, and that's the 2. Again, you're getting at least 15-1. Should get a great trip in here, and so again, if that horse improves, could upset the 5 or 15. You can show that the horse is right there, gets the trip, certainly can get up. So it's a wide open. I've got the 9, 10, 2, and the 5 and the 15. Using all of them, it's probably going to be an exactor box for me. Kirt?
Yeah, this is quite an interesting race. Forte, that's what everybody's saying. Forte's one of those horses. First time out, wow, looked like an absolute machine going by. Just absolutely blew the doors off him 1 by 4. But Forte didn't look as impressive last time out, beating Mage, that's who I'm going to. Mage made the power move last time out from last to first. And then Forte had to get going and did cruise by in the end. But dealing with Madge, first time out, the horse broke the maiden. I'm never a big believer in, it won a maiden by 25, it's the best. No, it isn't. But the second race, this horse was wide, pressing the lead every step of the way, and then tired a little bit down the lane, got in a little bit of trouble, and then ended up running back after it checked. I like horses that do that. That is all the horse. It's not the rider. They just seem to want to win. And that move last time out, I think it was a poorly timed move. He went from last to first and ended up running second in the end. If he would have waited a little bit longer, he had the overland route because he was last. Could have went around them all. Forte was kind of pinned in a little, but didn't have the horse to barrel his way out. But this horse has run better in each start. That was only the third lifetime start and showed a last to first. Now I think this horse is ready. The distance, I don't see it being a problem as long as the rider times it a little better. Castellano is now on again today, and I think that's a positive change for the horse. Castellano does know this horse. He had him into the pace last time out, so I don't expect him sitting last. So he's my nice big bomb at 15-1. Yes, I do like Forte. How can you not? The horse does everything. Hasn't been worse than, has 6 wins out of 7 starts, and the worst race came in the 2-year-old campaign. But this horse will be somewhere in the mix. We'll see if he's really what it's made of. And Angel of Empire, here's another one. 4 out of 6 so far in the lifetime. 3 for 3 this year, a second place finish. Didn't run a bad race in there, but that was the first start off the layoff. Came back with 2 impressive wins. The last one was even getting better. So that's why I like Angel of Empire. But with the lack of early speed in here, I got another little sleeper. And I'm going a little higher this time, Stretch. I had a 20 and 30-1, 50-1 Reincarnate. This could be a horse that they just say, you know what? Let's put him on the front end, see as far as he'll go. And the one thing is, if you can ever get loose and make it look like you're going fast, everybody will sit behind you and watch because they're watching everybody behind them. And you might be able to go a little bit farther. So Reincarnate, that's one that'll blow up the tote board and maybe get that one home like Rich Strike last year at $163. What do you think, Stretch?
Well,
50-1?
Yeah, that horse will be at least 50-1. But we saw it last year, so you never know the reverse. So, like you mentioned,
instead of from last to first. we see a horse hanging all the way because this is one Derby where I can't pick out of 20 horses 4 that are guaranteed to go to the lead or at least pressure.
Agree with you. That's why pace makes the race. So that's where you kind of have to start. So as much as I don't necessarily think your horse is going to go gate to wire, which is fine, you're getting the value. So if the horse was 2-1, I would say, well, come on, Kirt, you're better than that.
Yeah, 2-1. There is no shot. I'm going to put a little money on this horse across the board, mix it up with my horses in the exactor, maybe exactor box it. But I'm going to take 8, 15, and 14. And on to our wagers here in race number 7, the Twin Spires Kirt and Stretch. What do you have?
All right. I liked the early races, and I've saved up for Derby Day. I'm going to start with kind of one of my keys. I'm going to bet $10 to win on let's make it 20 win on the 10, 40 place on the 10. So I want to start off well there, but I want to still be alive in that pick 6. There's so much money available there. We're going to go 4, 10, 11. And then in the next race, 5, 7, 10 with the 1, 2, keying the 7, and then taking a bunch to finish it. 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 with 2, 5, 9, 10, 15. This is where you find friends and group it together.
And myself, here in race number 7, I'm going a 20-cent pick 6. Unfortunately, my bankroll isn't as big as Stretch's. I'm going to bet 4, 9, and 10 with 4, 7, 8, and 12 with 1, 2, 10, 13, 14. I am also keying the 7. Then I'm taking 5 and 9 and rounding it out with 8 and 15 in the Derby. Total cost, $48. Here in race number 8, the Pat Day Mile Stretch. What do you got?
All right, this is my best play of the day on the card and the sequence, and that's 30 to win on the 7, just in case something happens. I'll go 60 to place on the 7. 10's my long shot, so I'm going to play an exactor wheel. 7 and 10 on the top, and 5, 7, 9, and 10. Maybe I should add Kurt's 4, but we'll wait and see.
And myself, I'm just going to do 20 to win on the 4 and 20 to place on the 4. In race number 9, the American Turf Stretch. What about this one?
All right. The minimum is 50 or 60 cents, depending where you are in the pick 4. But I'm so confident, let's make it $1. We'll go 1, 2, 11, 14 with the 7. With 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, with 2, 5, 9, 10, 15.
And I'm on a limited budget because, the wife likes to eat, I guess. So I'm just doing a $1 exactor box, and it's a wide open race for me. So I'm going to take 1, 2, 10, 13, and 14. $1 exactor box, $20. On to race number 10. It's the Churchill Downs, the Grade 2 Stretch. What do you have?
All right, I got a few bets. Why stop now? $1 tri wheel, 7 with 210 with all. And just in case I'm right on the money here, let's do a super wheel. 7 with 210 with 210 with all. And then another ticket, 7 with 210. Wedge the all in there with 210.
And myself, I'm going after that not late pick 3, but race 10, 11, and 12 pick 3, culminating with the Derby. I'm keying the 7 with the 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and in the Derby, 8, 14, 15, a $2 pick 3, $30. On to race number 11, the Old Forester Bourbon Turf Classic Stretch. Wow, only $30?
Well, I might be borrowing 30 at this point, but we'll see. Just a small one. Like I said, I don't like the last 2 races in the sequence as much. So just a $3 exact wheel, 2, 7 with 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9.
And I always have a triactor somewhere, so I'm going to have it right here. I'm going to take the 5 on top with the 2, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, with the 2, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. The total cost of that tractor is $30. And here it is, race number 12, the 149th running of the Kentucky Derby Stretch. We're on the exactor trail. Remember, last year, the favorite ran second, and the exactor for $2, $4,000. What's your exactor?
Well, I guess Your horse would have to run first or second. But so here we go. A $3 exactor box, $60. Depends how the day goes. Maybe it'll be $4, $5, $6 or $1 exactor box.
Can you bet a 10-center by then?
Correct. But I'm hoping it's going to keep going. $3 exactor box, 2, 5, 9, 10, 15. For $1, it's 20 total.
And myself, I really like number 8 Madge, so I'm going to bet a $1 exactor wheel, 8 with all, and then also a $1 exactor wheel, all with 8. That's going to cost $38. And good luck with all your Derby Day wagers, whatever tracks you are playing, and hopefully you can hit some of those lucky ones, and may the racing gods be with you. Just a reminder that live racing resumes on Monday, May the 22nd. ASD Live, 6:45 Central, the races. After that, at 7:30, Stretch, anything you want to add or to help anybody that is playing the races?
Just a main reminder, there's so many races at Churchill. You watch the biases, watch where they're coming from, and also some late scratches. So remember, we've done this without knowing any of the scratches, and that can make a change. So those are our bets we'll stick with, but of course it might change if a key scratch comes out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That can really affect your pick 3s, pick 4s, 5s, and 6s, any kind of bets you have. The scratches are key. Make sure you look at those before you do anything. Everybody, good luck, and may the racing gods be with you.